New product. New product came and you brought.
All right, so we're going to go through a lot of these pretty fast.
Okay, this is Christiana's new book, Makers. It's awesome. It has a lot of stuff in it about 3D robotics and MakerBot.
And Adafruit.
And Adafruit's a little bit in there.
Yep.
It's all good. It's a fun book. I read it. It even talks about like the details of how he started the company, and it has some good stories in it. I like it.
Yeah, if you're thinking about starting a maker business, this is probably one of the few books that goes and talks about the journey to starting a company and why, and this next industrial revolution or industrial evolution.
Okay.
Next book, this is going to be in the store on Monday, but we put it in the store. You can sign up for now. Programming, Raspberry Pi, getting started with Python. Simon Monk, one of the best authors out there for Arduino and Raspberry Pi.
A good addition to the other Evans book that we also stock, which is the starting Raspberry Pi, beginning Raspberry Pi. So this is a good addition.
Next up. Back in stock.
We made a bunch of these and then they kind of sold out instantly. But we'll make more on Monday, promise. So
what are they, Lydia?
These are the awesome microphone amps we made. They're super low noise, adjustable output microphone amps. And we use them for a couple fun projects, including like FFT output stuff and voice changers. And we really did a really good job. It took me 2 years to design this mic amp. It's really good.
Super cool.
This is an upgrade to we put the 12-bit ADC in stock. This is an I2C controlled analog digital converter. This one does 16 bits. So this is a much higher resolution than most analog digital converters you get in microcontroller, and you get 4 inputs or 2 differential inputs, and there's a programmable gain amplifier in it. So it's totally awesome. We like both this one and the 12-bit. We could decide, so we just carry both.
Do you want to show it on the overhead for any reason?
No, this is actually a really good photo.
Okay.
You see a little chip in the corner and ferrite beam capacity.
Okay, got it. All right. Next, kind of the big news for us. There's a couple things, and they have things to do with Arduino. There is duets on the way. We sold out instantly. We have a lot coming back, so check the site. We also have the Arduino Starter Pack. We
I can show it
in soon.
Whoa!
It's okay, it's empty.
Watch out.
And
yes,
we'll
the
go to
starter
the
pack is
overhead.
cool. I don't know if we're going to be able to.
It'll fit on the overhead.
does it?
Well, we can can we?
Why don't you show the book?
Okay,
That's
the
the
book.
one thing.
It comes with this massive book.
It's a beautiful book.
It's a beautiful book, and it comes with wooden cutouts, and it comes with check out this wood cutout that you can make projects with. And it comes with a whole bunch of electronic components. Can you show the electronic components?
We have a photo of those too.
And it comes with an LCD.
Yeah, the packaging, everything is beautiful. This is a fantastic gift. We hope to have a ton of these in stock soon. They sold out very fast. But we're getting more.
So it's intense.
Right away.
Everything's in cute little
There's
boxes.
a lot of stuff, and there's it's a beautiful box too. I mean, I can't show this.
Well, I have some photos here.
It also comes with a really neat paper cut out thing that a robot girl used to make her robot that she just showed in the show and tell.
It's interesting. So each lesson, it's actually very similar to the ARDX in many ways. Every lesson comes with like a project that you build. So that's kind of nice. So there's like 17 lessons, and then or something like 15 lessons, and each one is like you learn a skill and then you actually get to build a project with it. So it's kind of nice.
The thing I like about this is you can tell a lot of care and love went into making this. This is a huge project, and the book is stunning, and the graphics in it are amazing, and it's well thought out, and they did a really great job.
Yeah, this is like many years in the making.
Okay.
Printed in Italy.
Next up, this is kind of a new thing for us, and maybe even a new thing for Arduino. This is a collaboration between Arduino and Adafruit. These are their images. We also took some images of the new Arduino Micro. I have to say I like Becky's photos.
Becky's photos, well, they're
this is the new little. It's super tiny. And this has the Adafruit logo on the board. We're very pleased to have a board with Adafruit involved.
Yeah, so this is basically like they had the Mini, which is a very old project. Yeah. The Mini was basically like
look how little it is.
Yeah, it's so teeny. The Mini was just the Mega 324 or sorry, Mega 328, and then you would use like the USB adapter, just an FTDI adapter, but then they wanted to upgrade that, and then we've been building our 3264 board for a while, and we talked to them about a couple of years ago about like, hey, you guys should make like a 3264 version of the Arduino, and then finally they're like, okay, we'll do that now. And so we work with them, and I like this because it kind of has a lot of stuff going on. First off, it breaks all the pins, and the pins are soldered on. It has a micro USB connector with a fuse. It has an onboard regulator, and also has a really good power supply system, so you can swap between USB and battery power, and it's input protected. It was really, really nice. You can plug into a breadboard and all the pins are in a row. So there are. I think this is like a good improvement on the Leonardo, which is what it's based off of. It has USB built in, so it acts like a keyboard or a mouse. It's super adorable and cute. And this version is a 5-volt version with pins installed. And hopefully we'll have versions that are without pins installed, and also 3.3 volts with and without pins installed, because sometimes you want something really thin. And I like how they put in the ISP header, so you can reprogram it very easily. So if you want to burn the bootloader or change the bootloader, you can do that. So this is a really cool design. I think this is really excellent. Really well done.
And we also have a ton of fun projects ahead too. So get ready for those. And we have some accessories that we'll be releasing.
And we have the exclusive to carry it. So if you want to carry one of these, you can either go to your Radio Shack if you have Radio Shack.
Yeah, you get a Radio Shack or Adafruit.
Or Adafruit. That's it. So I think we're better than Radio Shack.
Although it's great that Radio Shack's carrying all this fun stuff.
We also pick up some other stuff for it. And we'll be making some accessories. We didn't know exactly when the Micro was coming out, so we didn't want to have the accessories ready beforehand, but we'll have a cute little breakout thingy for it.
Okay.
In spring terminal.
We're going to zip through the rest of these real quick because we have another really big announcement, a new product. So you want to talk about what this is?
Yes. So this is Conductive stainless steel fiber. It's kind of like steel wool, but made out of stainless steel. And it's a really interesting material. And you feel it, and it's like really heavy for what it looks like. And I like it for felting. I guess you could spin conductive yarn with it if you wanted to, or but I think its primary application is felting.
I ordered a whole bunch of different types of stainless threads, and you like this one because
I like this one the best.
Bunch as much.
Yeah, so we tried different material thicknesses, the fiber thickness, and this is the 20 micrometer. Mm-hmm. We tried also a beefier one, and then one that was like 4 micrometers, like way smaller, and it looked really wispy. This looks kind of like human hair, but the other one looked really, really wispy and fine, and you'd naturally think that one would be the best one for felting, but it's not. It bunched up too quickly. It wasn't fun to work with. So this one actually works really great. So
here's a felted banana.
It's a banana with conductive buttons on it, and so there's pictures on this
thing. That's what I've always wanted. I mean,
banana phone.
In my childhood, I was always like, man, I wish I had a banana with conductive buttons.
So this is needle felted, and needle felting is you use this simple tool, which is just a barbed needle, and you stab all the time, and it really it mats the fibers together like dreadlocks in your hair, or it just like knots the fibers up together and makes the scales lock up. So you can stab some conductive fiber onto your felt project and make it interactive. If you go to the photo of it hooked up to the alligator clips, it's hooked up to a makey. So I made you know how they play music on a real banana, I was playing music on the felt banana. But you could also use it for if you had a wool sweater, anything that you could felt to. You could add buttons to it, like your socks could control your iPhone.
Well, I thought if you have felty gloves, you could also try felting a dot onto it.
Yeah, right. Instead of using, and it doesn't even need to be felty. It just needs to be made of a natural fiber, so cotton or wool. Not synthetic fibers, because they don't have those scales so it doesn't interlock.
It has to be hairy.
The fibers have to have individual scales on them so that they interlock with each other. But that's all natural cotton.
And that's what it looks like. We get it in a scheme like that. Oh, hello.
There's a cat over here.
There's a cat over here.
Okay, it's really cool, and my friend Moxie's already using it in her felt sculptures.
Excellent.
And you have to felt it. It can't felt itself. You have to felt it.
Yeah, you have to use it with a natural fiber because the stainless steel doesn't have scales. But I mean, I don't know. You show me what you want to do with it. It's possible.
I don't know.
I meant you.
I was like, I don't know.
You.
Next up, we have the new RFID blocking passport holders. We sell great RFID products, but we also sell great RFID blocking products.
I think someone tweeted was it's so much better to use this than smashing your passport with a hammer.
Yeah. So these are Really beautiful.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
This is from Stuart
Stainless steel.
Lamore and I bought these a long time ago, and we liked them so much that we contacted the company and we said we'd like to sell these in our store.
Yeah.
And
this whiteboard overhead thing is also magnetic. The lid is sticking to it.
oh yeah.
And so it had a little pocket here for your passport, and then space for some cards, and then another little pocket here for some cash or whatever. And it has a magnetic closure and the leather,
You guys wondering like
leather
why
spine.
the compass was going all crazy when you lifted it? Oh my god!
Whoa! Is it bad for it, or
No,
is it just,
it just freaks it out.
That's so funny. It's interacting with one of the other demos.
Yeah.
Boop, boop.
A great.
I'm waiting for us to get the lady wallet version so that I can
We'll have this.
have the giant lady
This took
wallet.
us many months to
I
get.
know, they're so
But these are
popular.
Great New York company too.
They're in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think they got really squished. By
I think they were delayed.
They were
Yeah,
by
everything's
Jumbo,
done.
yeah, okay.
Okay. Next up, we got this little switch.
Oh yeah, I like this switch. Oh, I just moved the table, sorry.
That's right.
Oh, the camera's attached to it too. So this switchy switch is something that my professor in college, Yuri Gitman, who actually made another new product we're going to talk about tonight, he brought us in our making wireless toys class, and he's like, "Hey guys, I got these switches, and they're so cool. They're square, and they have their toggle on off, so press on, press off, and a nice tactile with a nice little satisfying click. And then it has these sturdy leads coming off of it. So we would use it as a power switch for our plush electronics project. So you could put this in the seam of like your plush toy and have it be like the little tush tag, but with a switch built in, and also great for wearables projects like jackets and stuff. A handy little, you could put it in line with your power source and then have a handy on-off switch.
It can handle like 2 amps.
Yeah, so your whole project.
It's a beefy switch.
And really nice and clicky. And
Yeah, I got this for you.
I know. I'm really proud because
2 weeks ago you were like, I really want this switch, and I'm like, I'll find it.
I mean, like, I have silly ideas like for the Felch banana, but like I never have like straight up like here's a regular electronics component that I think. But so I feel really proud that I was able to suggest
Good
this.
work.
And thanks Yuri Gitman. He's probably not watching, but
Okay.
show him later.
Here's another thing by Yuri Gitman.
And Joel Murphy. It's the pulse sensor.
Yeah. So
You're gonna do a video for this event too, right? We don't-
Sure. I mean, I already did a project for Make, the beating heart headband, and it used the earlier version of the pulse sensor. Although I think in the video you probably won't be able to tell the difference. So this is the amped version, which includes some noise reduction and amplification of the signal. And what it does is it shines a light through. I didn't bring an Arduino board. So maybe you can show the picture of it lit up. The green LED shines into your finger, and then a sensor also is receiving the light back, and based on how much light gets back into the sensor, it shows your capillary action. So it goes along with your heartbeat. And it plugs into Arduino. They have sample code and a processing visualization sketch, and a little Velcro wristband and dot, so you can have it attached to your finger. And also an ear clip, which is what I use for the headband. So you put the ear clip on, and then the headband was just on my head, and then the little sensor came around and clipped onto the ear. I'm going to show the picture of it lit up. It's cool.
I have it here.
This one.
Yeah. Sorry.
So you can see here how it shines. That's the backside, how it shines into your finger.
That's great.
It's cool. And so Joel Murphy and Yuri Gitman made this sensor, and they were two of my professors in college, and that's exciting for me.
All right.
And maybe you.
And here's our really big announcement, along with a new graphic. John Janier made this photo today. This is the first time you've seen this, Becky.
It's really nice.
Flora is shipping. We are now getting these to customers. This is our new wearable platform. Here is a quick video that we shot not too long ago that shows some of the cool things it can do with thread and LEDs. We call it Flora, Adafruit Flora, and this is what's on the side of the box, and a great overview. Adafruit Flora, design your own wearable electronic fashion. The Adafruit Flora. Flora allows sewable integration of sensor, GPS, LED lights, and more for soft circuit design. This was years in the making. Here is a great photo that Becky took. Here's some LEDs in action, and right now we're making these as fast as we can. What we have is the starter packs. These will be back in stock shortly. We made a few and sent them out right away. Here's a couple of photos of different things that you can do, and you guys are going to start going through it, but I just want to show you.
We have some tutorials too, if you want to see more in action.
This is a wearable GPS, based on a wearable GPS GPS system. And so take it away, guys. Do you want to show it on the overhead, or do you want to?
Becky looks like she's overhead.
Sure, I got the stuff out while you were talking. Out of the starter pack, sorry for the crinkly bags. This is the main Flora board with the beautiful gold-plated contacts.
Yeah, I didn't want them to oxidize.
Yeah, and
I hate oxidation.
I think
you said you were so sad that your project oxidized.
Oh, I was so sad when I made things with silver conductive thread and then they stopped working and it's like a hand embroidery and it's
Wearable
so
electronics
sad.
Previously would eventually expire. Now you can build something and it'll last a lot longer.
It'll last a lot longer. And this is this cute little GPS. Oh, it's so cute. So remember I made the GPS dog collar and I was all like, use an unused pin on the breakout to secure it so that you have all four corners. Well, look, it's round. And you sew them all on and it stays on real nice, so I could make the GPS dog collar again. And then these really great little RGB pixels, that was what was in that video. Got the RGB LED on one side and then the little controller chip on the other. Really cool.
And one of our goals for Flora was starting out with a project in mind. So the goal is for people to be able to sew in all these pixels and actually make it a wearable video jacket, so you'd be able to display a video.
I think we're going to make a video corset.
Video corset.
Yeah, video corset.
Yeah, so, and then we have a demo. So here's the cool part.
The only thing is this is magnetic, so it's
ha.
You have to remove this.
Remove that. This is the wallet too was making. This is Lamore coded this today, I think, right?
Yeah, just like an hour ago.
And I made this as the tester for the GPS a little while ago, and now it has code to always point to north. So I'm spinning
it's actually testing. We have a compass module here, so this is always going to point north-ish. It's not completely calibrated, but it's pretty close.
So wearable GPS, wearable compass module, and the Flora is an Arduino-compatible board.
That is about north, like that way. It's north.
And this is using conductive thread.
As long as you don't have like your magnetic clasp next to it. And then
what's cool is that you were just going to say about the sensors being wired in parallel.
Yeah, so that's the accelerometer compass over here, and there's a GPS. The GPS doesn't work indoors, and then these are the pixels, and you can see that Becky sewed the pixels in a row, so they're all chained together. And
they're only controlled by one pin. There's power, ground, and then one pin that Daisy chains them all together, and they're addressable, and so there's fewer paths to sew.
You don't need as many pins either.
Yeah.
Right, they're all controlled off of one pin.
It's green, but it's actually RGB. I just was like, I'm just going to make it green.
Sure.
Green was...
So what's the power of the LEDs? Someone had a question about that.
What's the power of the LEDs?
Yeah.
They can draw up to 60 milliamps. These are really bright LEDs though, so if you don't want to draw as much power, you can dim them. They have full PWM, 24 bits.
So what's happening now is the wearable compass is...
The Flora is talking to the compass, and it's saying, what's my magnetic and accelerometer, like my tilt and magnetic information. And then it does some quick trigonometry to figure out which direction that is with respect to the Flora. And then I told it which LED is north, so that it increments through the LEDs so that the one that's lit is always the one that's the most north.
So you could have a dress that would always glow a certain color based on the direction you're walking.
Yeah.
You could have something
or
like that.
when you get out of the subway and you're kind of figuring out which way is uptown, which way is downtown.
Yeah.
I want to make shoes or a bag that will tell me which way is uptown or downtown because I don't have good vision. And it's actually really frustrating.
It's disorienting when you get out of the train. If you don't know, if you've never been to that intersection before, you can't figure out if you're on the north, but what
which
corner.
Which way is east, and so we always end up wasting 3 minutes. Is that 34?
I hate it when I walk a block in the wrong direction.
And then you always walk, and so they actually did this in Union Square. They used to try to start stenciling compasses on the floor, and so I thought it'd be really cool if it was built into my bag or my shoes.
Yeah.
So let's talk. You want to talk about what's in the starter pack?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I took the batteries out, by the way. These are stolen batteries.
Cool.
Yeah, we wanted to give everybody a lot of stuff to get them going, so they could do projects right away.
Okay, so they get the alligator clips.
The alligator clips, the Flora. So you can stay on this photo if you want. The alligator clips. We did the exact opposite of what I said was okay to do. The photos are better. So the alligator clips, a set of needles to sew your conductive thread, and there's one of each kind of conductive thread. Sometimes when you're doing a power bus, you want the 3-ply. Sometimes you're doing something more delicate, you want the 2-ply. You can do both. You have the GPS, 8 pixels, a 3 AAA battery holder, and 4 AAA batteries because they come in packs of 2. And then also some IR LEDs, transistors, and resistors for to make your own Flora wearable remote control, including TV Be Gone. So you could just have it as a brooch, and then bam, shut down all the TVs, or change them all to the same channel.
Yeah, and what's neat is you can start to imagine projects because you have a GPS. That also means you have a clock.
Yeah.
So you can do things like, well, maybe I'll make a New Year's Eve outfit that as it gets closer to midnight, a different LED will light up.
Sounds like a good Phil B.
Yeah, I wanted to make it so like we didn't have too much. So I was thinking about having a clock module that was separate, but I was like, you know what? Like the GPS can act like a clock, and then you can sew a battery onto it, and so you go outside, and it's like atomic time. It's like you're not, then you don't have to worry about ever setting it.
Yeah,
it's always right.
That's great.
So this is a big deal for us. Part of the reason that Becky is at Adafruit, because you're director of wearable electronics.
Look at all of these wearable electronics there are to direct.
Yeah, and we
direct them already.
Yeah, and
north. That is that way.
We wanted something really cool that we're going to wear all the time. So when you see Adafruit people, you'll probably notice a lot of us will have Flora's on us. Becky's working on a special project for me.
Your winter jacket.
A jacket that has some stuff. And we're going to document all the stuff. We have the Adafruit learning system, so we can have all of the projects. And we're super excited. We think this is going to be...
We have 3 tutorials you can check out right now. One is a getting started with Flora, and that's how to plug it in, make sure it works, and load some code onto it. Then we have a pixel tutorial for using the RGB pixels and testing those out and chaining them together. And then we have the GPS tutorial too, which is based on the ultimate GPS, and it's really handy and useful to get started.
We'll have 3 sensors soon. So we'll have a light sensor, a temperature and barometric pressure sensor, and an accelerometer compass sensor. So those 3 sensors and the pixels and the GPS, I think cover
a lot. Everything.
They cover. I mean, they'll also have switches and buttons and stuff. But I think those three sensors, the GPS and the pixels, covers 90% of the projects that I want to build. And
right. And then we have those other things that you can always use regular electronics components too.
Yeah.
I'm going to show how to
want to
make
an LED matrix thing too, because I think the LED matrices are cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
One question: do you solder the thread to the leads, or how do you get the thread onto the board?
You sew it on. The pads are big enough and the holes in the pads are big enough so that you can pass the needle through it with thread many times. And when it's just wrapped around, maybe you can go to the overhead, I can show this one that's actually sewn in. It's wrapped around the contact. Can you see it? And so there's no soldering involved in this one.
Right there, you can sort of see it's wrapped around the hole and pulled tight. And it's a very soft connection.
There's a photo of this one also in the GPS tutorial. There's a photo of this exact demo, just close up in under nice bright light. And it's just wrapped around, so no soldering. Although on Phil's jacket, I'm soldering sewable snaps onto the back pads, and that way he can pluck the Flora off in order to show it to people, because that's
right.
your job.
That's my job.
And then I did solder the snaps on, but then I sewed to the snaps with the conductor thread on the other side.
Yeah, and some folks want to know, is it possible to solder to conductive thread?
You can solder to it, but you need special flux. It's stainless. So you do need, it's a trade-off. You can solder to the silver thread, but the silver thread goes bad after a couple months.
You can also use conductive epoxy, perhaps?
Conductive epoxy is also silver usually.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the epoxy will only oxidize on the outer surface, as opposed to the conductive thread that's silver has the silver threads silver-plated fibers.
I've never seen anyone who needed to solder. If you knot it like a normal, if you sew normally. We put that together.
If you're soldering,
I've never had any loose connections.
If you like soldering, just use insulated stranded wire for your Flora project. That's fine too. Nobody says you can't solder directly to the pads. I would just, going from soldering to sewing, I usually use a snap in between. My original TVB gun jacket also had the things broken into out to a snap because I had a wire soldered to the board, and that makes
another
really
thing
good
you can do
transition.
is crimp connectors. I've used that. So you use a JST crimpy connector. You get them on a strip, and you don't really have to use a crimper, but instead what you do is you crimp onto the wire. You double the wire over and crimp it really well, and then you can solder to what you would normally be the pin. It's a hack, but I've done it.
And,
I just think that you can just use well-used wire for your project and solder it together. In fact, some of the good.
But you have to be careful to make sure it's stranded or it'll break.
Yeah, stranded wire.
The nice thing about the thread is that you can flex as much as you want, and you never have to worry about I flexed my arm so many times that it snapped, which is what wires do, which is why people use conductive thread.
And some folks want to know, is it possible to have the thread in a sewing machine? Yeah,
the thread is it's really sturdy, and I use it in the bobbin side of my sewing machine. I haven't been able to run it through the top.
And you need to have a machine where you can really adjust the tension.
The tension, right? Because it's so stiff. It's not stretchy like cotton or cotton poly
like
thread is. It's like
wax thread.
Yeah. And the 2-ply is a little bit softer than wax thread, but the 3-ply is like wax thread, and it so it pulls harder. It's like not as flexible as the cotton thread, so you have to make the top tension really high for it to like make an even stitch. But it works fine even if the tension's not exactly right. What'll happen is the thread on the bottom will pull into a straight line, and the top stitch will kind of be anchoring that thread, and that works too. It's fine. It's just not as pretty.
Another thing you can do is you can. I was thinking about this. You can zigzag over.
Yeah, you can zigzag over.
Thin zigzag, and you just zigzag over the thread, and you just hold the thread or the wire in place, and you can zigzag. That's probably also a very fast way. Also, like you can pull it in and out, if you need some adjustment.
And one of the big questions always is, well, is it washable? Can it get what is the general overview? I know we'll have tutorials.
The general answer is take the batteries out. Yes, you can wash it.
Hand wash it carefully and then dry it.
That's the long answer.
Yeah, and we'll have tutorials for the people who
we'll talk about this.
Who want to seal things up and want to like make sure it can.
In general, most electronics, if they don't have any way for water condensation to get trapped inside, if the power's off and it gets wet and then it dries and the power comes back on, it's going to be fine. There's certain components that can get condensation trapped inside them, and we'll do all that stuff. But yeah, like you, in general, should be able to wash.
And we'll put together some great tutorials because it's a common.
Although I've never seen anyone wash a wearable project though.
You're looking at one.
What did you wash?
My TVB Gone hoodie.
Okay.
It's a silver thread.
But that's a really simple project.
Really? What do you mean?
No, I'm saying it was like you.
Put it in the washing machine.
Yeah, we didn't have like these pixels and thread and all that. It's just like the board was soldered and then it was just the switch. It's still different.
Sure. It didn't have a lot to bang around, but I did put it in the washing machine. But yeah, hand wash and everything's fine.
We'll have a great guide because this is going to be something people ask. So we'll have like here's some good tips.
And stainless steel. The thing is, the silver thread. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to wash this hoodie now. How many more times can I wash it before the silver tarnishes? The stainless steel is not going to tarnish, so that's good. And so if you can protect it from mechanical stresses,
you just have to dry it. It's actually not the stainless. It's not the thread. It's the water getting underneath the chip. But as long as it's dry, it's fine. You can also conformal coat it.
Yeah, you know what I've been doing is painting stuff with clear nail polish.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a really good tip. A lot of people use clear nail polish.
Kind of like conformal coat.
So anyways, we're excited. We're working really hard on it.
I'm really excited. Yay, it's finally here.
Yeah, another couple quick things. Here's some photos. Lady Ada made this great testing jig that allows us to test all the floors. Here's the GPSs coming out of the pick-and-place machine. So we're going to go a couple minutes over, but that was new products. That was our new product section.
Hooray!
Do-do-do.